you who wins NBA MVP.
I would say, I just think it will be somebody in the Eastern Conference. You know, I think between Harden, Westbrook, and LeBron, they kind of equal each other out. I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving.
I actually think, and I'm a little bit out on a limb on this, but I like Anthony Davis. And I don't think his team is...
That ain't on a limb. Just
no, but I'm saying, I mean, no, when I say that...
short limb.
No, but the reason I say that is because his team is still unsure how good they'll be. But I think getting rid of Boogie Cousins, now he can really flourish like he did at the end of the season in the postseason. They'll miss Rondo.
For sure.
They will miss Rondo, and that's where I don't know, are they a playoff team? Are they a 6th seed? I just think almost like it's time.
I think New Orleans has got a chance to be, you know, get home court advantage. I really do. I mean, you know, a lot of these teams out there haven't proven to me, you know, no one here can sit here and say Oklahoma City's going to be this. Right. We have no idea what they're going to be. I love him. I think that's a great pick. I mean, I love that kid. Sure. I love the way they play. They got rid of Boogie, and they started getting up and down the floor. Sure. I tell you what, some dudes I never heard of were getting up. Like this that dude. Like, you know, you're on the internet punching him up. I'm like, damn, that guy came out of nowhere because just the way they played, you know. And so that I like.
But I also think it was a lot because of Rondo. They were playing that.
They'll miss Rondo. No question.
Don't miss Open Court season preview, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
I like that show.
Right. All right, let's take it all the way to Shenzhen, China, as the Dallas Mavericks take on the Philadelphia 76ers. That's Luka Doncic of the Mavs, the rookie. And he starts off with a three-pointer.
I dare you to go under. I have three-point range. I like it.
All right, one guy here, not so much about the three-point shot himself, but playing in the passing lane, coast to coast, Ben Simmons.
That's crazy. Get to steal your 6'10" out in transition. So fluid.
Gonna be a monster. All right, Joel Embiid.
Oh, don't do that to him.
That is nice. Fancy footwork showing the ball. Dallas up 2.
Man, Shaq's at home smiling. Feet work, feet work.
All right, Doncic lobs it up to Dwight Powell out of Stanford University.
Oh, okay, I like that. Good pass, good pass.
Philly up 1. Ball movement for the 76ers, and it ends with the Embiid dunk. He had 20 points in the first half, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists in the game. Halftime, Philly up 4. All right, third quarter, Doncic.
Oh, my goodness. I like that.
Like that, huh?
Oh, yeah, a little jab, a little jib, get to the basket and lay it in.
15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists for the rookie. All right, Markelle Fultz in his second year.
Okay.
6 points in the game, knocks down that jumper.
Okay.
And Brunson coming off the screen, knocks down the 3. Dallas gets the win.
I like that, young fella. You didn't show the three-point ball in college.
All right, from China back to the U.S., we'll head to Charlotte where the Bulls are taking on the Hornets. Kemba Walker before the game giving out 5s. And this time, in the midst of 3 defenders.
That's mean, Kemba. Get to your spot and lay it in.
He had 20 points, 7 rebounds. Going the other way, though, in the fast break. Throw it up for Miles Bridges.
Good steal. You get out and run and share it.
Rookie getting up. That's what he does. Malik Monk.
Okay, Malik, you've been working on your jumper.
Yeah, created all that space with the step back. Parker finds Levine. Levine gets up.
Ooh, Zach, that's... No, I don't want to say it yet. I have to. Nerf hoop. That's just so easy. Nerf hoop.
Right. It's like a kid getting up there. This time finishing up in the air. He had 26 points in the game. Staying with the play, Jeremy Lamb, he had 16 points. And at halftime, Charlotte up 62-46. Kemba Walker.
Catch and shoot. That's one thing we know Kemba can do.
All right, more for the Bulls. It's Zach LaVine sizing up the defense.
Shooter's paradise. Leave it.
Yeah. And LaVine not done yet.
Love it, Zach. We know you can dunk on people, but you have a wetter.
Put together a very nice game. Walker, one last play for him, but it's the Hornets that win 110-404. All right, let's head over to Detroit. The Brooklyn Nets take on the Detroit Pistons. Blake Griffin making his preseason debut. And pulling up, it's a miss, but it's a roll of the left ankle for Allen Crabbe as he tries to come out and defend that play.
Ouch.
He left the game with a sprained left ankle, did not return.
Ice tub, here we come.
Right. Rest, ice, compress, elevate. All right, inside, Blake Griffin looking good.
Swing, swing. Uh-oh.
Shot fake.
Yeah, okay. We'll take it all the way to the cup then.
And the finish. He had 17 points, 9 rebounds in the game. We'll take you to the fourth quarter where it's a tight game.
Oh, Mr. Drummond, that's your house.
Andre Drummond with the dunk. And this time staying with the play.
See that? Keep the rebound, keep it high, finish it high.
Pistons up 1. All right.
Oh, no, you didn't, D'Angelo.
Yes, D'Angelo Russell with the spin move, spin cycle. Nets up 1. Back and forth game. Inbound to Langston Galloway.
Langston Galloway.
Knocks down the jumper for the Pistons. It's 100-99. This is your guy, D'Angelo Russell.
What's he going to do with it?
Coming off the screen. Pull up 3 for the lead. He had 25 points.
Ice in his veins. I see the
Ice in his veins. You know he likes that. Pistons down 2.
Oh, great pass.
Reggie Bullock for the layup and the tie. We have overtime.
Have confidence in your 5-man and Drummond to make that kind of pass late game is big time.
All right, free basketball time. LeVert leading the Nets to victory. He makes the 3. And this time LeVert making the extra pass.
Oh, yes.
Gets Jared Allen, and the Nets win 110-108. It's easier and more fun than ever to play NBA Fantasy with weekly lineups and head-to-head matchups. Draft your favorite players, compete with friends, and get closer to the game. Play official NBA Fantasy at nba.com/playfantasy. Unfortunate news from San Antonio as the Spurs announced DeJounte Murray has suffered a torn right ACL. There has been no timetable given for surgery yet. However, the injury is understood as a major blow to the Spurs. Murray came into the season as the projected starting point guard and expected to take on a bigger leadership role with Tony Parker leaving for Charlotte. Much like the rest of the NBA world, we wish DeJounte a speedy and full recovery. All right, welcome into Game Time. I'm Roz Goldon-Woode, and this is 3D Dennis Scott. We got a lot of preseason action for you. 8 games today. We're worldwide today. Yes. We're in China today. We're West Coast, East Coast. But I think we should start in Oakland.
I think we should do that.
All right, let's check it out. The Warriors and the Suns played in Oakland today. Stephen Curry before the tip-off. And he had a very good start to the game. Little defense.
Oh, little defense, little cookies.
All right, quick hands. Oh, got him jumping.
Hezzy, and then the left hand's alive.
Do not reach, don't jump. Oh, gosh, Steph got him reacting.
I love it, Steph.
All right, Kevin Durant finding Stephen Curry for the 3.
Okay, KD playing a little point there in the half-court set.
All right, that's very scary, the idea of all of that. Steph had 23 points in the game. This is the #1 draft pick, DeAndre Ayton, working inside.
KD asked for help. That's a big guy down there.
Okay, now Ariza, the
veteran shooter.
All right, Kevon Looney patiently looks, kicks it into a cutting Kevin Durant. Nice movement without the ball. Durant had 12 points in the game. And that's DeAndre Ayton in the lane, finishing the layup at halftime. Suns up 4. All right, second half, third quarter. Things get a little spicy. So Steph sets a screen.
Yeah, it seemed like a good screen rise at first until we get a different angle. Oh, that's sort of hold, like in defensive football, it's hold. That's a 10-yard penalty.
So they call Curry for the foul. Steve Kerr is fed up, doesn't like it.
Come on, Stevie Wonder, come on.
So he actually gets ejected. Look at his mouth.
I don't want to be here. Bye.
That's so sassy.
Hey, cuz, this is how we do things, cuz.
Look at them eyes he gave to DeMarcus Cousins. And Stephen Curry laughing. You're the one that started it, Steph.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan Anderson, new to the Suns, knocks down the 3.
Leave it.
And he doesn't stop there. You know, this is one thing he does.
Swing, leave it.
18 points in the game, and they find DeAndre Ayton. But we want to find out, Steve Kerr, where'd you go after you got ejected?
Back in the locker room. We had a good post-game spread. It's usually out there by the late third quarter, so I wanted to be the first one to the buffet.
What happened in that play that you saw that was, in your words, what happened?
They called an illegal screen. So there were a lot of those tonight. I was frustrated, and I was in the wrong. Obviously, I got what I deserved.
Did you go out there to get ejected?
Yes. I was trying to make a point, and I was trying to back up my guys. We had all these offensive fouls, one after another, and I finally had enough.
So So you're one of his players in the locker room. Game finishes, you walk in, you see Steve Kerr. What's your reaction?
Love you, Coach. Appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you stepping up for me.
Right,
And
facts.
because,
Right.
you know, Steph, now Katie's learned, they've been there a couple years now. Steph's been there since they've come together. They know Steve's personality. They know when Steve comes into practice, hey, guys, you make this free throw, practice over, get out of here, because I don't want to be here today. Hey, guys, we've been playing terrible basketball this week. We're going to practice a little longer. This is Steve being Steve and having that relationship with each player, saying, you know what, we weren't playing a little sloppy.
Right.
Fouls weren't going our way. That was a bad call, but let me go have a seat. Y'all, let's get this game over with. So I like the fact he was being transparent and honest. It was a poorly called game at 4 point. My team wasn't playing great, and that last foul, I had enough.
Okay, well, this is still preseason ball, and it's an opportunity not only for teams to get it together and coaches, but also for young players. DeAndre Ayton had a very nice showing. What are you seeing from him early?
I like what I see that he's willing to go on the block. A lot of these young men today want to go out and shoot the three. We know the big fella has that range, but this first play right here, KD, ask for help. That's a big young man down there, and he likes to be in the paint. Nice little pick. He could have popped for the jump shot. No, he rolls to the basket. Same thing, roll to the basket. Anything you learn from Houston's Clint Capella, he's made a lot of money by doing one thing, setting a good screen, rolling to the basket. So as Ayton does that, you get Devin Booker back. You have Trevor Ariza, a veteran. You have Ryan Anderson shooting three, so maybe he creates some space so the big fella can do work down low.
Well, he's going to have to find a way to flourish and find some stability in a situation in Phoenix that is a little turbulent right now.
A little bit.
bit.
And learn how to win. That's what they learn how to win as a young team.
Okay, well, it's going to be hard, especially on the West, no?
No question about it. But that's one of the things you're hoping Booker and Ayton are ready for. You brought in a couple of veterans. Now it's time to learn how to win.
All right, well, let's check out the latest update on Monday. The Phoenix Suns relieved Ryan McDonough of his role as general manager just a week before the start of the season. And Vice President of Basketball Operations James Jones and Assistant General Manager Trevor Buckstein will handle his duties on an interim basis.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Now, you talked about DeJounte Murray earlier. It's going to be tough for the Spurs. Now you look for Nick Johnson, you look for Bryn Forbes, guys like that to step up. Of course, you still have Patty Cake to come off the bench, but this was the young guy who was ready to get things for the future.
Yes, we have that ACL. We did see a tweet from DeJounte Murray basically giving out some positivity. He said, I've been beating the odds and handling adversity my whole life. I got no choice but to bounce back. Thanks for the prayers. Hashtag God got me.
Yes, I love those sentiments. Now put in the work.
So this, no timetable yet for the surgery and the recovery. I mean, an ACL, it's, likely a year-long,
at least,
comeback. So how devastating is this for the Spurs? I mean, I can even speak for myself, knowing when I saw this news, my whole stomach just tightened up, because here's a guy who's been working so hard, third-year player. He earned that starting spot last season. Tony Parker leaves. This was his time to shine. So what's next for the Spurs now? Is it Patty Mills?
Well, Patty will be in the flow. Like I was saying earlier, you brought in a guy like Nick Johnson that was in Houston a few years ago. You still have Bryn Forbes, who you signed back. But this young man, you were believing in the future. You had given him the keys to the car. Like you mentioned, now Tony Parker's gone. So now Pop had finally got that confidence to say, now it's your turn. Now it's time to turn the page. It's time for a new regime. You mix in Rudy Gay, who they brought back. You still have LaMarcus Aldridge. So now it's up for these other guys. Bryn Forbes has been around a little bit. Is he ready to handle it? Guess what? You have to now. Opportunity knock on the door until Murray gets healthy.
All right, well, we have some fallout from skirmishes elsewhere around the league. Suspensions for J.R. Smith and Marcus Smart. Details coming up.
Well, if those guys want to push somebody, they could have pushed me, and I'd have taken everybody out to dinner with that money. It's